scared. Scared. I'm gonna find a way to get these videos. Birds. To get these videos off my phone. I have not yet. So we're walking to the store, and it seemed like a good time to knock out another book review. Probably another week in case this to be cut. I do lawn care as well, so I'm walking by one of the properties I cut. Today's review is a 1-star review for Divine Intercession by Homestead. Absolutely heretical premise. There's absolutely nothing Christian about this book. This book is listed as Christian fantasy, and that's the only thing Christian about it. I recommend anyone that calls themselves, you gotta do the air quotes, hold on, I got an umbrella in my hand, Christian, do not buy the book. What's interesting is that they didn't read the book. Isn't that interesting? They read the summary of the book, and they decided from the summary of the book, because there's no verified purchase on the comment, so you don't own the book. You don't own it. You looked at the book description, and from the book description, you decided it wasn't a Christian book. This guy voted for Robert DeSantis. That's the only thing that really convinces me of. You're obviously from Florida. You obviously support Robert DeSantis, because you just out here burning books for no fucking reason whatsoever, man. So, let me explain the plot of this book, and maybe explain why it was written. I've been living in a very difficult living situation for a few years. In some ways, it's a great experience. In other ways, there's a lot of unresolved issues and trauma that, as an empath and as someone that studied psychology, it's difficult to ignore without absorbing a lot of people's issues and their energy and their emotions, and being overwhelmed by seeing clear solutions that the person just is not willing or is not ready, or perhaps not even capable of taking psychologically. The closest relationships to you teach you patience. They teach you love. They teach you how to serve. Enoch Carter did not have that experience. And like in many ways, I say that Morgan, how you doing, bro? Good. Is like my darkest self, and what I feel could have happened if I did not make different decisions and did not give my life over to Christ. I would say Enoch, similarly, is a period of time in my life that was very deeply affected and very deeply afflicted by my major depressive disorder, by depressive schizophrenia, you know, and sort of just what honestly could have what happened and what could have went wrong. And I just feel like to ignore the reality of that, you know, because I'm not going to get on a Christian rant, because I'm a believer of Christ. I'm a true believer in Christ. But I think what that means is that then I wouldn't be so-called considered Christian then, by definition. As you have so kindly reminded so many people through Catholicism and all this other crazy shit that they're not Christian and that they're going to hell. And you're not really doing a good job of like marketing and promoting this religion meant to set people free from empires and set people free from capitalism. You're just allowing like atheists and Satanists to take over and divide people, just like white supremacists infiltrated the schooling system and the police. Word. So when a lot of these white people try to gatekeep Christianity, and who knows, it might have been a black woman, I really don't know. She might have been Latina or whatever, but with the name Homestead, you know, I would assume she's white. I'm gonna assume, seeing the black guy on the cover, I assume the plot, because there's that show on Netflix. I have not watched the actual show, but I watched the documentary. But this is kind of why I did not watch the show Lucifer, despite the plot and text and what the writers describe it as, and the writers describing themselves as Catholics. Have a good day. Good morning. It's just the premise of it, the idea of it, just the title of it is just repulsive, you know? So it's not fair though, because it's a guttural reaction, and I acknowledge that. I'm just not really all that interested in the show. I hear it's like not that bad, but, and even from like the way that the people that created the show described the show, it was meant to be a Christian show. It was created with Christians in mind, but they added that shock value in there. And sometimes the shock value works against you. So it's a book about a young man who takes his own life, and then Jesus uses him to fight the apocalypse. So he's trained as an archangel, and it's the book of Enoch, the book of Adam and Eve, and a lot of these cool, amazing ideas. But it is based off of the books in the Bible that were taken out. So if that offends you or scares you, you know, it does have Lucifer being killed by demons and having his head and his horns ripped off by his own kind. It does have angels slaying demons. It does have angels trying to save California from the apocalypse. And it does have a young man taking his situation and trying to save other young men from suicide and self-deletion. So I just don't understand, if the name of the game is reading and you don't like the book, how do you not like the book if you don't even read it, if you don't even crack it open to see? I see what a lot of people, this is my last thought and I'm gonna go because I'm where I gotta be now. And I look kind of crazy standing out here talking on my phone and shit. A man once told me, you haven't fully read the book until you've read the prologue, you've read the copyright, you've read the appendix, you've read the book literally cover to cover. You can't judge, you cannot make an interpretation, you cannot make a perspective of the book until you've done that. I see so many authors get 1-star reviews, 2-star reviews, because someone was on the first page of the book and they didn't like the first page. Like, it's such a slimy, grimy type of mentality to take your own lack of intelligence out on somebody else. You know, if you don't like to challenge yourself with new ideas, if you don't like to challenge yourself with new perspectives, you probably shouldn't read books. You probably shouldn't watch movies. You probably shouldn't listen to music. You should probably lock yourself in a room inside a dark room with a candlelight and see how much you like your own thoughts. See how much you like your own perspectives. See how much you like dealing with yourself when you're that toxic and that negative. Because for people that create in this world and people that are building a better planet, why is it every single time someone's trying to do something great or do something good, you always got a group of haters? You don't got nobody trying to help that person. You don't got no one trying to uplift that person. No one trying to pray for that person or support or financially fund what they're trying to do. Y'all will watch people struggle for years and years and years just to justify your own decisions, but you will hate on any single person that's trying to do the right thing with their lives. And that's such a nasty, disgusting thing. It takes so much effort. I'm not even just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for any person, as I'm helping like 2 people now reach the point of publication. It takes so much to publish a book. It's not some shit where you just put the shit on Amazon and it's over. Even to put a shitty book on Amazon takes a lot of courage, a lot of confidence, and a lot of effort and a lot of energy. The way y'all just criticize and shit on people that are writing, the way you guys just put all these 1-star, 2-star reviews on people, on their hard work and effort that they've spent hours, if not years, trying to produce, just because you read it for 30 seconds, you didn't like 1-2 pages of the book, and now you're going to turn every single other person off of it because you didn't like it? That is so weird to me, man. It's so fucked up. And I get it, like, I've given 1-star reviews before, but even in like the past couple of years, kind of like tipping, if you ever worked in restaurants, there's a pre-restaurant phase and a post-restaurant phase, and the post-restaurant phase is if you can't tip, you don't go out. You know, if you can't afford to give people the right due for their service, you don't need to be there. If you can't afford to pay attention to something that you've got for less than $20 that someone spent 2 to 5 years of their life on, you know, I don't really take it to head, because at this point, I could write a book in a week and produce it and it can bestseller. And that's no flex, that's no nothing, that's just reality. You can't do that. Because real talk, if you're leaving 1-star reviews on people's work, even people that I did not like as individuals, and I did not like their book, they did not get anything less than a 3-star review from me, because the book is there, they put the money into it, they wrote out what they needed to write. You know, if you don't like the contents of that doesn't make it the worst book you've ever read. That's what a 1-star is. If you haven't even read it, you should hold no perspective of it. And I'll give you another review on this book a little bit later. I'm standing out here. But man, look, it's not even just me. You can look on you go on Amazon.com right now. Look at whatever genre you like. It doesn't have to be my books. Look at whatever genre you like. Go to your favorite author and look at their 1-star, 2-star reviews. And you know, some of them might be super duper valid, but do they really need to be like that low? Does it really need to be trying to crush somebody and trying to make sure that nobody else ever sees or reads this? That's some hating ass shit for real. Regardless of how you felt about it, that's some hating ass shit to me. So I really wish I could have this in a more constructive type of mode. I did update the description and ways to make it fundamentally, you know, constructive. You know, even though it wasn't constructive and it wasn't really anything, I did rewrite the description to better explain, you know, what was going on in the book. I did work a bit more on, you know, remarketing the book, but this came from an advertising campaign. And the advertising campaign did over 100,000 people. You know, it was a very great campaign. But one person ruined the whole thing. Because the people that actually need to read the book, it's going to take time to read the book. You have to manage your schedule and manage your time to be a good reader. The people that they read 1 page, 2 pages, and leave a 1-star review because they don't understand the whole book in 1 page. Y'all a problem. Learn how to finish a book. I've read some books that I thought were pretty terrible at the very beginning, but once I accepted the fact that this person is human and they make mistakes, and they're just doing their best work to like get this vision in their mind that they wanted so desperately for other people to see, just out of their head and just available for people to see it at. I can't just sit there and shit on that person and make them feel terrible about themselves because I have nothing going on in my own life. I got too much shit going on in my own fucking life that I need to shit on other people and make them feel bad about themselves, about the things in their life that are most important to them, just to make them feel small and to hurt them. Because that's the only time I've ever given people 1-star reviews. That's exactly what it was for. So I just pray that we all do reflection in this. I just pray that we all do more time to really try to understand people, because there's too much emphasis on understanding, and understanding means you are underneath the stand. That means you do not fully comprehend what is going on here. There's a misunderstanding, and you think that the opposite of a misunderstanding is an understanding. The understanding is the mediocrity to overstand. You must overstand in order to have mastery and expertise in something. You cannot infer reality. You cannot infer truth. You live and you experience truth, and then you use honesty and action to be in alignment with truth. And when you are not in alignment with truth, you have mental illness. This is 100,000% a fucking Christian book. This was entirely meant for Christians. This was also meant to convert non-Christians. This was written literally in the faith of God Almighty. And I just don't understand why you people are so filled with hatred. I just don't get it. I don't know what the fuck happened to y'all. I don't know who fucking hurt you niggas. I don't understand why there's so many fucking haters in this world. But Homestead, please get my dick out your mouth. You're a fucking hater. You didn't even read the fucking book. And it's like, literally every time I look, I have to look 1 star. At least the one person that wrote the book was laughable. I can kind of vibe with that. I can high-key kind of understand that. Because you know what? Why Can't We Share Him was a pretty offensive book. It took a lot of development to even get it to that point. I can understand why they felt the way they felt about it, especially if they were a young woman or something of that nature, But this book, it's like y'all don't even be right, and y'all still be running your fucking mouths and having opinions.